talking about stuff like pea protein, insect protein, hemp protein, algae protein. There is a booming market in Silicon Valley right now to come up with the next meatless meat option, and simply because there seems to be a market for it.
Really? People are okay. And I'm just looking at the lines here. You're talking about insects and algae and hemp, and people are really eating this instead of just putting a steak on the grill and chowing down. Why would they go this route instead of a good old steak?
Yeah, well, first of all, we're calling these things photeins, all right, not proteins. First of all, there's a lot of investment in this, okay? A lot of people are thinking this is going to be the future. We're going through a bit of a food crisis here on the planet, where raising things like beef and pigs and lamb isn't necessarily the best thing for the planet, some argue. So we're trying to find more sustainable ways of getting protein. Now, protein, as we know, is incredibly important, not only for men, but also for women. It helps us maintain muscle, build muscle, and it also helps us feel full at mealtime. You know, eating about 30 grams of protein helps you feel full until your next meal, so you aren't snacking on other things throughout the day.
I got to say, there is no way I'm going to shove an insect in my mouth knowingly, and you know, algae does not sound that. Is there any way that they could make these things taste like bacon or something that I would like to eat?
Well, there is one company right now called Beyond Meat that is making something called a burger. They're calling it a burger, and what they've actually done is made the burger bleed. If you squeeze the burger after you cook it, now it's made of a blend of non-beef proteins. It will actually, blood will drip from the actual burger. But look, you know, a lot of these things still need work. We had a writer sort of go on a diet. He was a meat eater, and he incorporated some of these foods into his life. And what he found was that, you know what, most of them weren't that bad. Some of them were. Insect bars are probably not as terrible as you might think, especially when they come in delicious flavors. But the one thing he did find, and this was after talking to the experts, is that the quality of these proteins, pea protein, hemp protein, even if they may be better for the environment, they may not necessarily be better for you. And that's simply because they don't have all of the essential amino acids that meat has.
So at the end of the day, if I'm cooking for my family, am I better off going the real meat route, or am I better off going with one of these meatless proteins?
Well, here's what we recommend. If you're not a vegetarian or a vegan, but you're looking to incorporate more plants into your diet, well, turn to the real thing. Have steak on the side, maybe a little bit less. And
like the size of the palm of your hand, right? That's what they say?
And then whip up some sauteed spinach on the side. I tell you what, sauteed spinach is one of the simplest things to do. You just heat a little bit of oil over medium on a pan. You throw the spinach in. It cooks in like 2 to 3 minutes. Little salt, pepper, and my secret is a splash of apple cider vinegar, just a little bit. And I'll tell you what, that stuff tastes so much better than an insect bar.
Do you ever carry an insect bar around with you just in case, though?
I do not personally, although I am open-minded. I hope that we can find a method of feeding the world's population that is good for the planet and good for us, too.
Paul Kita, the food and nutrition editor at Men's Health Magazine. Some great tips this morning, whether you prefer meat or you're trying to go meatless. I appreciate it, Paul.
Hey, thank you so much. Thanks for having me on.
And Ben Olson, he loves a good large steak, and he is here with this morning's entertainment headlines. Good morning, Ben Olson.
Good morning, John. It's Entertainment News Nuggets time. The music community is mourning the loss of teen idol Bobby V. The 1960s icon, best known for his hits Take Good Care of My Baby and Rubber Ball, passed away yesterday of advanced Alzheimer's disease. He was 73. Prince's Paisley Park Estate is officially a museum. Minnesota's Chanhassen City Council voted unanimously yesterday to rezone the late musician's compound to begin public tours this Friday. Prince reportedly left detailed guidelines for converting his studios into a museum. Warner Brothers is also releasing 2 new records from Prince. Justin Bieber's string of controversies is continuing. The singer dropped his mic and stormed off of stage at his tour stop in Manchester on Sunday night. Bieber asked his fans to stop screaming, saying that he appreciates the love and support, but the screaming in these breaks has got to stop. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump is noting that the latest woman to accuse him of assault is an adult film actress. Jessica Drake came forward over the weekend. She's the the 11th woman to accuse Trump of misconduct. Lady Gaga says Madonna is a nice lady, but don't compare her to the pop icon. In a recent interview, Gaga says she writes her own music and adds that she's a producer, a writer. What she does is different. Gaga says she doesn't mean to disrespect Madonna because she's the biggest pop star of all time. Gaga said she didn't want to be compared to anyone anymore. With your entertainment news nuggets, I'm Ben Olson for Daybreak USA.
Hey, thanks, Ben. And by the way, a couple of the other topics that we might as well chat about real quickly. We talked about Dorothy's ruby red slippers. Remember they were taken off display at the Smithsonian? Well, these original Wizard of Oz film props, apparently there was a crowdfunding thing set up to raise $300,000 to restore those things, and it was hit late last night thanks to more than 5,300 donations from 41 countries around the world. So $300,000 is going to be poured into fixing Dorothy's ruby red slippers. And, of course, we're talking about the Wizard of Oz. So coming up next on Daybreak USA, we're going to talk about a little bit of good news. We've got this mom and her 8-year-old son. They take a little drive to do a little bit of good. They've been collecting some things for flood victims. We'll talk about that. And then one of our newer friends on Daybreak USA, Wendy Patrick, is going to weigh in on some of the big political stories of the morning. So there is a lot more to come. Stick around for more Daybreak USA.